when you have a gap between the observer and the observed, then there is a time interval, and during that time interval, other factors enter, conflict arises, and so on. Therefore, it is imperative to remove this gap. Otherwise, you cannot observe actually the present. You get it? You see the logic of it at least. So, is that possible? That is, the observer, who is the past being knowledge, his experience, his hurts, his demands, his ideologies, his memories, and the actual fact, which is the present consciousness, in which may be included the past and the future. So is it possible to observe without the interval, the gap? You understand my question? That is, it is necessary that one looks at the present, this present consciousness with its activity, without the past. That means the observer is the observed. I wonder if you see that. Because the observer, when he is different from the observed, then there is an interval of conflict. Now I make it much simpler. Is anger different from you who are angry? You understand my question? The man who is envious, is envy different from the man who says, I am envious? Or the observer and the observed are the same, right? While you think it, I'll take a rest. While you think about it, look at it for yourself. When you hate somebody, when you are angry, envious, is that feeling different from you? Or you are that feeling? If there is no that feeling, you are not. Just see the simplicity of it. You understand? So, to observe the present, which is the content of consciousness, one must come to this realization that the observer is the observed. The observed is not different from the observer. This is really most important to find out. Because when you understand this deeply, then meditation into which we should go becomes something entirely different. I can't tell you the importance of understanding this, that the feeling is not separate from you. You are that feeling. The observer, though he may think he is different from the observed, he is still the observed. That is, the observer, I'll go slowly, I see. The observer is the past, right? The observer, which is the result of thought. Thought being experience, knowledge, stored up as memory in the brain. All that storehouse of memory is the past. And with that past, there is observation. Thought says, I am different from the observed. So thought breeds this division. But the past is security. The past is certainty. The past is vital to thought. So it must keep itself separate from the observed. But when you examine it, the observed. When you examine it, you will see that the observer is the observed. I can't go much more into it unless you drink it, absorb it, put your teeth into it. So, now you are observing without the observer, your consciousness. That is, you don't look at it with like and dislike, saying this is right, this is wrong, this should be, this is good, this is bad, this is, which is all the past, your past being your conditioning, the background. But when you realize that you cannot look at what actually is with the eyes of the past, then the very demand to look removes the past. Not the effort made to remove the past, but the very demand to see the present frees the observer from the past. Therefore, there is only the observed. Right? See, please. Right? Can we go on from there? So now we are observing without any judgment. Right? A judgment is the past. So you are looking at this whole consciousness of a human being without judgment, without comparison, without any form of distortion. Any form of distortion takes place when you judge, when you compare, when you say this is right, this is wrong, this should be, this should not be. So the mind now is free of all distortion. And the distortion takes place when the movement of time as past comes into being. You understand the point? So, now we are observing the content of consciousness without any attitude, without any prejudice, just to observe. Now, what are the content of consciousness? There are three obvious principles in that field, which is sorrow, pleasure, fear. With all the ramifications, with all the complications of each one. We are looking at it. Please bear, not saying what to do about it. If you say, what am I to do, then you are looking with the eyes of the past. So, you are observing without any sense of effort. Therefore, when there is no effort, there is tremendous attention. You understand? God, come on, sir. We said the content of consciousness is consciousness. And with the content are these three principal activities of human being. fear, pleasure, sorrow. We went into the question of fear the other day. I won't go into because there's lots more to be said further. We said the word is not the thing. The word fear is not the feeling. Does the word awaken the feeling of fear, or does the feeling exist without the word? If the feeling exists without the word, then it is sensation, like any other sensation. And when you observe that particular sensation with all your senses, that which you call fear is no longer exists. This is very important to understand, which we went into the other day.